that noisy this time on Friday.
That's getting pretty quiet.
So we're live, we're back. Short break. Looking at one set of language changes that we talked about.
Sounds good. John Gray, I'm Legislative Council, Spring Chair, and this should be pretty quick. Just pulling in exactly the language that we looked at earlier from the House version related to differentiated EL weights. On page 52, obviously this will be printed unless you guys.
Oh, good. I know. I was like,
Is that a new version?
Yeah, it'll be draft 9.1.
9 point.
But it just came through. So,
Yeah.
but what you're seeing on this first page here, we have to have new definitions for these categories. So we pick up our English language proficiency levels, which references those standardized measures of academic language proficiency, and then newcomer or SLIFE, a pupil identified as New American or student with limited or interrupted formal education. Page 53, this is our counts section. So this is tallying up within the categories. You see that they have to tally. And you'll see some levels grouped together. That's because there's a uniform weight applied across those. So levels 2 and 3, for instance, get the same weight, but you're counting within those categories. Similarly, you're counting up your newcomer SLIFE. And then we can jump down to page 56. And this is your actual set of application of weights. So you have your proficiency weight. And again, differentiated based on those categories. So you get your highest cost, you get your highest dollar figure from your level 1, the lowest English language proficiency level of 2.11. And at the top, if you're assessed at level 5 or 6, get 0.12. And then you see additionally, an English language learner can be eligible for newcomer SLIFE, and that's a flat weight of 0.42. But again, it's additive, so you get this plus one of your assessments. And that's it.
Sounds like a PA coin.
This is the differentiated EL weight.
I move.
Yes. We asked no. Go ahead.
I move we vote version 9.1 out favorably today. Now,
Discussion.
I don't think. Does there need to be a second?
No, not on.
I
No,
don't think so.
no, just a motion, then
Custom.
roll call.
Okay,
Only call.
workshop. Okay.
Well, hold on a second. Is there,
discussion.
I feel like there's 50 other pages that we haven't gone through. Is that
Oh,
Oh,
nothing new in that?
yeah, there's nothing. The back sections are just sections that finance is dealing with related to the property tax credit repeal, the homestead extension. The reason they're in there is because this is a much broader bill. And those are my sections that I touch. If I included the full bill, which would include the Kirby's tax sections related to the reassessment of districts and the like, those provisions are just included almost based on staffing rather than with the idea that it's going to financing. If you would like for me to pull out any of the Title 32 sections, I could do that. But the thinking is these accompany the education sections. They just weren't the pieces that you guys were touching in here and will be touched in finance.
I'll tell you my thinking too is they have a lot of work ahead of them. You know, we've left them a little bit of cleanup on the weights. And then they have a whole other section that they've been starting to look at it, but they've really been waiting for markup to get this. And I really worry that they need at least a full week. And if we don't get it out today, we wouldn't be giving them that without pretty much guaranteeing longer session.
Doesn't give you a warm closing.
But you can propose things to finance too. Okay, that's what I think. And they're really keen on, like I had asked a lot about the supplemental spending, and they've already been thinking about how that could create inequities and what they could like doing there. So I have comfort that they really get some of the things we've been wrestling.
I'll just mention, I mean, it's a weird position to be in, to feel very hesitant and actually quite concerned about a lot of the things in this bill, but it's a unique situation that we're all in that, this is not the last stop. There's the conference committee, there's the finance committee, the floor, there's more to it, and I hope a number of changes are made. So I'm gonna vote yes, because I don't think that the bill should die here, because we need to continue this work, so I'll just leave it at that.
I agree with you.
Senator Hashim,
Yes.
Senator Heffernan,
Yes.
Senator Van Ginsten,
Yes.
Senator Leach,
Yes.
Senator Williams, yes. And Senator Bowman,
Yes.
6-0-0.
So, I really want to say thank you to Electric Council, JFO. And
Amazing.
And the committee. This is actually pretty monumental. Because we are setting in motion a change in the, in my view, very broken system to something that has the potential, and I also have to the potential to really improve education. And I also know that there are holes and there's a lot of work to do. And in many ways, what we're doing is setting up all the work to the next year, over the summer, fall, and next year to fill in some major pieces. But I have thought all along that this is developing a framework and then recognizing that we've got just as much work on this next year as we did this year. But I really appreciate that. Through the committee and the committee and really helping to make this happen. I think we should, even though we know and I understand why the comment is, we've done something really worthwhile. So thanks to everybody and everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Now with that, on Tuesday, I'll talk to you on Monday, but on Tuesday we'll go back to 480. And I want to talk to you about, but not now for real. We'll talk to you for real on Monday about plugging in, for the sake of us discussing it, the language that the Superintendent's Association is looking for to look at. Oh yeah, how would you collective bargaining for the healthcare? And with no like we've been doing with that bill, you put it in, we test it out, we decide whether we want it in or out.
And I'm hoping to propose for everyone's consideration a CTE work group.
Do people want to take a look at that, by the way?
Oh, the healthcare thing?
Yeah.
Sure.
But that's going to require some testimony. I was initially thinking we couldn't do it, but now we have some time. It's going to require some testimony.
Yeah.
Around the block. So,
it's interesting because it touches labor law and healthcare law. So I just don't know if we want to give those two committee chairs a heads up over the weekend that we're looking at it.
we could, or we could just decide whether when we look at
Fair.
we're even interested.
Yeah, so they don't waste their time.
Yeah. Or whether it's appropriate for this bill or it's some other thing. So let's just take a look at it and we'll decide. So just to switch back, I guess I'm saying basically we can switch back to 480 and try to get that one out. We'll get a roll.
Next week, if we can talk about 454 and reporters.
Bill. Okay. Moving on.
Just because,
Section.
when it comes out of planning, it's gonna go fast. And
I have it.
I'd like to,
I started back to the politics too.
He's putting me down as the report.
okay,
Then we can talk about that.
because of that, so I just, if we want to kind of tag team those or just single, just.
I'm always there. I mean, there's certain stuff that always go inside. So universal health care, no matter what, we're trying to do something big.
I mean, I'll just
This
wait
needs
till
to
we
be
get
kind of a,
to
okay, scary, but you guys.
I will.
Okay.